Jung warned, your dreams are not random. They hide messages that can change everything in your life. What are you ignoring while you sleep? While you sleep, your mind is screaming truths at you that your ego refuses to hear. Carl Jung knew it. Every nightmare, every strange dream, every image that pops into your head during the night is your unconscious telling you exactly what's wrong with your life. And you ignore it like an idiot. Do you know what the difference is between a person who controls his destiny and one who lives as a victim? The first understands that their dreams are not nocturnal entertainment, they are survival instructions. The second wakes up, forgets everything, and keeps making the same mistakes over and over again. Your subconscious sees what your conscious mind refuses to accept. He sees that you're in a toxic relationship before you admit it. See that your job is killing you before you have the courage to quit. See that you are living someone else's life before you wake up from the deception. Jung discovered that the subconscious mind does not lie, it does not manipulate, it has no political agenda. It only shows you the raw reality, without filters, without excuses. But most people would rather live in fantasy than face what their dreams reveal to them every night. Every symbol in your dreams is a direct message about your real life. That house that is collapsing represents your emotional stability. That person chasing you is the fear you don't want to face. That murky water is the mental confusion in which you live, submerged. They are not poetic metaphors, they are precise diagnoses. The secret of dreams is not mystical, it is brutally practical. Your unconscious works 24 hours a day, analyzing your behavior, your decisions, your patterns. And when you sleep, it gives you the full report. But you prefer to wake up and look for the meaning of your life on social networks. Jung analysis revealed something that most don't want to hear. Your dreams show you exactly who you are when no one is watching. No masks, no acting, no lies. They show you your real fears, your repressed desires, your wasted potential. Do you want to continue living like an emotional sleepwalker, or are you ready to truly wake up? Because once you understand the language of your unconscious, you can't go back to pretending that you don't know what you have to do. Dreams take away all excuses. The question isn't whether your dreams have meaning. The question is whether you have the guts to face what they're really telling you about your life. 1. Secret code. Jung discovered something that universities don't teach. Your dreams speak a specific language that your conscious mind doesn't understand. It is not poetry, it is not mysticism, it is a system of direct communication between your unconscious and your reality. Every image, every situation, every character that appears while you sleep follows precise rules that Jung has decoded after decades of investigation. The secret code works like this. Your unconscious can't speak with words like your conscious mind, so it uses universal symbols that transcend language. When you dream of water, it is not a coincidence. When fire appears, it has a purpose. When you see animals, they are representing specific instincts that your waking mind ignores. Jung discovered that this symbolic language is older than any human language. It is the original way in which the psyche communicates with itself. That is why people from completely different cultures dream of similar symbols. The subconscious mind uses universal archetypes that are engraved in the psychological DNA of humanity. But here's the secret that no one tells you. Once you learn this code, your dreams become a navigation tool for your life. They stop being confusing experiences and become clear instructions about what to do, what to avoid, what to change. Most people live ignoring this internal communication system. It's like having an emotional GPS running every night and deciding to get lost during the day. Jung analysis revealed that those who learn to correctly interpret their dreams make better decisions, avoid toxic relationships, and identify opportunities that others don't see. The code is not complicated, but it requires brutal honesty with yourself. Its unconscious does not manipulate. It has no political agenda. If you dream that your house is on fire, you are not predicting a literal fire. It is telling you that something in your life needs to be destroyed so that you can rebuild from scratch. When Jung began to apply this knowledge in his own life, his existence changed radically. He ceased to be a victim of his unconscious impulses and became a conscious collaborator of his own psyche. That's the difference between living on autopilot and taking real control of your destiny. The hidden mind secrets that Jung discovered are not for everyone. They require courage to face uncomfortable truths about yourself. But once you've mastered this secret code, you'll never have to wonder what to do in difficult situations again. Your unconscious will give you the answers each night. You just need to learn to listen to its language. This system works because your unconscious processes information 24 hours a day. It analyzes patterns, detects dangers, identifies opportunities that your conscious mind misses. During the dream, he gives you this complete analysis using the only language he knows: symbols, metaphors, archetypes. The difference between those who live extraordinary lives and those who conform to mediocrity lies in the ability to decode these nocturnal messages. Jung knew real power does not come from controlling the outside world. It comes from understanding and collaborating with your inner world. 2. Conscious lies. Your conscious mind is a professional liar. While you sleep, your unconscious works tirelessly to show you the truth that your ego refuses to accept during the day. Jung discovered that there is a constant war between what you believe you know about yourself and what you really are. Your dreams are the battlefield where this truth emerges unfiltered. The conscious mind constructs comfortable narratives to protect its self-esteem. It tells you that you are a victim of circumstances, that your problems are the fault of others, that you have no control over your situation. But your subconscious mind sees the full reality. It sees your self-destructive patterns, your cowardly decisions, your constant excuses. Jung's analysis demonstrated that the conscious mind functions as an editor that censors uncomfortable information. It filters out experiences that don't fit with the image you want to keep of yourself. That's why you can be in a toxic relationship for years without consciously admitting it, while your dreams clearly show you the destructive dynamic each night. This mental censorship is not accidental. It is a psychological survival mechanism. Your ego needs to maintain a certain stability in order to function in society, but the price of this artificial stability is living disconnected from your inner truth. You become a stranger to yourself. Dreams break this censorship because your conscious mind is deactivated. Without the internal editor working, your unconscious can show you exactly what you think about your life, your relationships, your decisions. There is no diplomacy, no courtesy, only raw truth. That is why many people prefer to forget their dreams immediately upon awakening. The information is too uncomfortable, too direct, too honest. It is easier to continue living in the fantasy that your conscious mind has built than to face what your unconscious reveals each night. Jung understood that those who have the courage to confront these conscious lies get a brutal advantage in life. They stop deceiving themselves. They stop repeating destructive patterns. They stop being victims of their own denial. They become people who see reality as it is, not as they want it to be. Dream psychology reveals that your most disturbing dreams are usually the most valuable. They are your unconscious screaming truths that your conscious mind has suppressed. This recurring nightmare is not nighttime torture. It is free therapy that your own psyche offers you every night. The question is not whether your conscious mind lies to you. The question is whether you are willing to listen to the truth that your dreams reveal to you. Because once you stop believing your own lies, your life changes forever. Your unconscious has no social filters. It does not seek to please. It does not need external validation. You see your real fears, your authentic desires, your untapped capabilities. While your conscious mind keeps you in your comfort zone with elaborate excuses, your unconscious pushes you toward real growth through dreams you can't ignore. That's the reason why the most successful people pay attention to their dreams. They understand that their unconscious is the only counselor who never lies to them. If this hit home and you're ready to go deeper into who you really are, light, shadow, and all, check out the SIM Method ebook. It's a down-to-earth guide that helps you reconnect with yourself in just 5 minutes a day. The link's waiting for you in the first pinned comment. 3. Shadow revealed. Jung discovered that within you there is a dark force that your conscious mind refuses to recognize. It's not evil, it's repressed power. Your nightmares are not nightly punishments. They are formal presentations of that part of you that has been banished to the basement of your psyche. The shadow contains everything you deem unacceptable in yourself: anger, brutal ambition, sexual desires, impulses for domination, thirst for revenge. Society has taught you to repress these aspects because they are inadequate. You learned to smile when you wanted to scream, to be polite when you wanted to be direct, to accept when you wanted to fight. But Jung's analysis revealed something disturbing. The more you suppress your shadow, the more power it gains over your life. It doesn't go away. It manifests itself in distorted ways through behaviors that you can't control. Their nightmares are direct encounters with this repressed shadow. When you dream that you are killing someone, it is not because you are a potential killer. It's because there's a part of you that wants to symbolically kill something in your life. A toxic relationship, a job that suffocates you, a version of yourself that no longer serves. Most people wake up terrified of these dreams and try to forget them immediately. But Jung understood that these are the most valuable dreams you can have. They are your unconscious showing you the power you are wasting by repressing fundamental aspects of your nature. Hidden mind secrets reveal that people who consciously integrate their shadow become more authentic, more powerful, more magnetic. They stop being good guys that no one respects and become individuals with real presence. Not because they have become evil, but because they have stopped denying essential parts of who they are. Your shadow contains not only negative impulses, but also positive potentials that you never developed. Maybe you have a talent for leadership, but you've been taught to be submissive. Perhaps you have artistic ability, but you have chosen to be practical. You may have protective instincts, but you have learned to be passive. Dream interpretation shows that when you stop running away from your shadow and start talking to it through dreams, your life changes drastically. You stop falling prey to impulses you don't understand and become aware of forces you can channel constructively. Jung knew that the shadow is not his enemy. It is his source of untapped power. When you accept that you have the capacity for anger, you can use that energy to set boundaries. When you accept that you have ambition, you can pursue goals without guilt. When you accept that you have primal instincts, you can trust your intuition. The secret that no one tells you is this: your most admirable qualities are directly connected with the dark aspects that you reject. Their compassion comes from the same source as their capacity for cruelty. Your gentleness comes from the same place as your ability to steadfast. You can't have one without accepting the other. People who live by denying their shadow become predictable, weak, easily manipulated. People who integrate their shadow become unpredictable in the best sense, authentic, powerful, respected. Jung discovered that true psychological maturity begins when you stop trying to be good and start being whole. 4. Universal symbols. Jung discovered that there is an alphabet of symbols that every human being understands instinctively, regardless of culture, education, or historical era. Your unconscious speaks this universal language every night, but you probably don't know how to translate it. Each symbol that appears in your dreams carries specific meanings that transcend personal interpretations. Water always represents emotions and the unconscious. When you dream of calm oceans, your emotional state is balanced. When you dream of tsunamis, you are being overwhelmed by emotional forces that you do not control. When you dream that you are drowning, you are being suffocated by repressed feelings. It is not a poetic metaphor, it is a precise diagnosis. Fire symbolizes transformation and passion. Dreaming about fires means that something in your life needs to be destroyed to make room for the new. Dreaming of controlled campfires indicates that you are consciously channeling your transformative energy. Dreaming of being burned alive reveals that necessary changes are happening against your will. Animals represent your primitive instincts. Dreaming of wolves indicates that your survival instincts are active. Dreaming of snakes reveals that your instinctual wisdom is trying to emerge. Dreaming of birds shows that you are seeking freedom or elevated perspective. Each animal carries specific messages about instinctual aspects that you are ignoring or repressing. Houses symbolize your psychological structure. To dream that your house is falling apart indicates that your emotional foundations are unstable. Dreaming about hidden rooms reveals aspects of your personality that you have not explored. Dreaming of invaders in the house shows that outside influences are threatening your inner stability. Jung's analysis revealed that these symbols are not arbitrary. They are archetypes engraved in the collective unconscious of humanity. Therefore, a person who has never seen the sea can dream of oceans and intuitively understand that it represents emotional vastness. That's why someone who lives in the city can dream about wild animals and feel a connection with primitive instincts. The subconscious mind uses these symbols because they are more effective than words in conveying complex information. An image of you flying instantly communicates a sense of freedom, transcendence, escape from limitations. It would be impossible to convey the same richness of meaning with words during the dream. Death in dreams never means literal death. It always symbolizes the end of cycles and rebirth. To dream that you die indicates that an old version of yourself is being eliminated to make way for a new one. Dreaming of dead people you know reveals aspects of them that you have internalized and that need to be integrated or released. Flying represents transcendence of limitations. Dreaming of flying easily indicates that you are overcoming obstacles in your life. Dreaming of having difficulty flying shows that there are still limiting fears or beliefs preventing you from reaching your potential. Dream psychology teaches that when you learn this universal symbolic language, your dreams become detailed maps of your psychological condition. You stop waking up confused and start receiving clear guidance on what your psyche needs to evolve. The difference between those who use dreams as a tool for growth and those who ignore them lies in the ability to decode these universal symbols that Jung mapped out. 5. Dominant archetypes. Jung discovered that within you, there are universal characters who control your life without you realizing it. It's not just aspects of your personality, it's archetypal forces that influence your decisions, relationships, and destiny. Your dreams reveal which archetype is dominating your psyche at every moment of life, and this information is pure power. The warrior appears in dreams when you need to fight for something important. If you dream that you are in battles, your unconscious is activating this energy so that you stop being passive and take action. People dominated by the warrior are decisive, courageous, but they can become too aggressive if they do not balance this strength. The sage manifests itself through dreams of ancient figures, libraries, or situations where you need to find answers. When this archetype dominates, you seek knowledge and deep understanding. But beware. Wise men can become paralyzed by over-analysis, thinking so much that they never act. The lover arises in intensely emotional or sensual dreams. It's not just about sex, but about passion for life, deep connection, the search for beauty and meaning. People dominated by the lover live intensely, but they can get lost in codependent relationships or emotional addictions. The innocent appears in dreams where you go back to childhood or feel vulnerable. This archetype seeks security, simplicity, faith in the good. It can be a renewing force, but it can also keep you naive in the face of brutal realities that require maturity. Jung's analysis revealed that the rebel manifests itself in dreams of revolution, destruction of structures, confrontation with authorities. When this archetype dominates, you question everything, break rules, seek authenticity. It's essential for growth, but it can isolate you if you rebel against everything indiscriminately. The caregiver arises in dreams where you protect others or sacrifice yourself for someone. This archetype seeks to nurture, serve, create harmony. It can generate deep relationships, but it can also turn you into a martyr who cancels yourself out for others. Hidden mind secrets show that most people are dominated by only one or two archetypes, creating imbalances that limit their potential. Those who only live the warrior become aggressive without wisdom. He who only lives the sage becomes intellectual without action. Those who only live the lover become emotional without direction. Real power comes from recognizing which archetype is dominating your life through dreams and consciously activating others when needed. If you're being too passive, you need to awaken the warrior. If you are being too aggressive, you need to access the sage or the caregiver. Subconscious mind uses dreams to show you when you are archetypally unbalanced. If you repeatedly dream about conflict situations, you may be repressing your inner warrior. If you dream of isolation, you may be denying your lover who seeks connection. Jung understood that extraordinary people are not dominated by a single archetype. They are masters who know when to activate each inner force. They know when to be a warrior, when to be a sage, when to be a lover, when to be a rebel. This archetypal flexibility is what creates authentic leaders. Archetypal dream interpretation teaches you to recognize these forces at work and to consciously collaborate with them. You stop being a victim of impulses you don't understand and become a conscious director of the archetypal drama that is your life. 6. Destructive patterns. Your repetitive dreams are emergency alarms that your unconscious triggers when you're stuck in cycles that will destroy you. Jung discovered that the psyche has an internal alert system that functions as an emotional smoke detector. When you ignore these nightly warnings, the destructive patterns intensify until your life collapses. If you repeatedly dream that you are lost, your unconscious is screaming that you have lost direction in real life. It's not a coincidence, it's a diagnosis. If you dream that you are being chased, there is something in your life that you are avoiding facing. If you dream that you are falling, your security structures are failing. Most people wake up from these disturbing dreams and try to forget them quickly. But Jung's analysis revealed that this is exactly the reaction that perpetuates destructive patterns. Your unconscious increases the intensity of dreams until you are forced to pay attention. Most common destructive patterns that dreams reveal: relationships where you are always a victim, jobs that drain your vital energy, self-destructive behaviors that you repeat without understanding why, toxic family relationships that you maintain out of guilt, emotional addictions that you deny having. Dream psychology shows that each repetitive dream carries specific information about how to break the pattern. If you dream that you are trapped, your unconscious is showing you where you have trapped yourself in real life. If you dream that you are running away, you are revealing that you need to free yourself. The power of repetitive dreams lies in your insistence. Your unconscious doesn't give up until you get the message. It's like having a friend who calls you every night to let you know that your house is on fire, but you turn off the phone and go back to sleep. Jung understood that people who pay attention to the destructive patterns revealed in dreams can change their lives before it is too late. They recognize the warning signs and take corrective action. People who ignore these warnings end up living the consequences in waking life. Subconscious mind doesn't just show you the problem, it shows you the solution. If you dream that you are drowning, you also dream of ways to escape the water. If you dream that you are being attacked, you also dream of ways to defend yourself. Your unconscious always offers ways out. You just need to pay attention. The most dangerous patterns are those that you consciously justify. You stay in a toxic relationship because you love the person. You continue in work that kills you because you need the money. You maintain destructive friendships because you have history together. Your dreams cut through these rationalizations and show you the raw truth. Hidden mind secrets reveal that the more you resist changing destructive patterns, the more intense the warning dreams become. Your unconscious can start with subtle symbols and escalate into terrifying nightmares if you keep ignoring warnings. The difference between people who break destructive cycles and people who repeat them all their lives lies in the ability to recognize and act on the warnings that their dreams provide every night. Jung knew, your unconscious is your best security system, but it only works if you know how to interpret it. 7. Psychic compensation. Jung discovered a brutal mechanism that your psyche uses to keep you balanced: compensation. When your conscious life is out of balance, your dreams create opposite experiences to restore psychological harmony. It is not kindness of the unconscious, it is psychic survival. If you ignore this natural compensation, your mind finds more drastic ways to force balance. If you are too submissive during the day, you will dream that you are dominant, aggressive, powerful. If you are excessive controlling in real life, you will dream that you lose control, that you are vulnerable, that you need help. Your unconscious is not confusing you, it is showing you aspects that you need to integrate to become complete. Compensation works because your psyche knows that extremes are unsustainable. People who only live one side of the personality eventually collapse. The workaholic who never relaxes has nervous breakdown. The good guy who never imposes himself explodes in destructive rage. The controller who never accepts vulnerability develops paralyzing anxiety. Jung's analysis revealed that compensatory dreams are not escape fantasies, they are psychological training. When you dream that you are brave, your unconscious is developing this ability so that you can access it when needed. When you dream that you are vulnerable, you are learning to accept human limitations. But here's what most don't understand. If you consciously reject the qualities that your compensatory dreams reveal, your psyche forces that integration through real-life crises. The executive who rejects vulnerability will be forced to be vulnerable through illness or failure. The passive person who rejects assertiveness will be put in situations where they will have to fight or be destroyed. Compensatory dream interpretation teaches you to recognize what aspects you are neglecting. If you repeatedly dream of situations where you need to be firm, your life is asking for more assertiveness. If you dream of moments of rest and pleasure, you are working too much and neglecting well-being. The subconscious mind does not only compensate for behaviors, it compensates for attitudes and beliefs. If you believe that you are a victim of circumstances, you will dream that you have power and control. If you believe you are superior to others, you will dream of humiliation and failure. Your unconscious is constantly correcting distortions in your self-perception. Jung understood that psychologically mature people consciously collaborate with this compensatory process. Instead of resisting the aspects that dreams reveal, they integrate these qualities in a balanced way. They recognize that they need to be both strong and vulnerable, both assertive and receptive. Hidden mind secrets show that psychic compensation is smarter than any external therapy. Your unconscious knows exactly what aspects you need to develop and create specific dream experiences for this development. It is personalized therapy that works 24 hours a day. Resistance to compensation creates psychological symptoms. Anxiety arises when you reject vulnerable aspects that you need to accept. Depression appears when you deny powerful aspects that you need to express. Explosive anger emerges when you repress natural assertiveness for too long. People who understand psychic compensation use their dreams as a compass for personal development. They ask, "What quality are my dreams trying to teach me?" instead of, "Why am I having these strange dreams?" This shift in perspective transforms dreams from confusing experiences into tools for conscious growth. Jung knew that true mental health does not come from eliminating negative aspects of personality. It comes from integrating all aspects into dynamic balance. Your dreams are the laboratory where this integration happens naturally, if you let it. 8. Unconscious power. Your unconscious possesses an intelligence that surpasses any conscious capacity you imagine you have. Jung discovered that this inner force processes millions of pieces of information simultaneously, detects patterns that your conscious mind would never notice, and finds solutions to problems that seem impossible. Your dreams are how this superintelligence communicates with you. While you sleep, your unconscious analyzes every social interaction you've had, every micro-expression you've observed, every intuition you've ignored. It connects dots that your conscious mind considers disconnected and comes to conclusions that seem to come out of nowhere. That's why you sometimes wake up knowing something you didn't know before bed. Jung's analysis revealed that unconscious power doesn't just process past experiences, it also projects future scenarios based on patterns it detects. When you dream of situations that later happen in real life, it is not mystical premonition. It is your unconscious making sophisticated probabilistic calculations that your conscious mind cannot perform. The subconscious mind has access to information that you consciously forgot or never noticed. That feeling that someone is untrustworthy, even when the person seems perfect, comes from your unconscious detecting subtle signals that your conscious mind has missed. Your dreams often reveal these perceptions through symbols and situations. People who learn to consciously access this unconscious power develop what appears to be supernatural intuition. They know things without knowing how they know. They make decisions that seem risky but turn out to be right. They avoid problems that others cannot foresee. It's not magic, it's conscious collaboration with unconscious intelligence. Dream psychology teaches that you can program your unconscious to work on specific problems. Before going to sleep, you can present a clear question to your unconscious and ask for an answer through dreams. Scientists, artists, and inventors have been using this technique for centuries to access insights that the conscious mind cannot produce. Unconscious power also includes healing capabilities that modern medicine is beginning to recognize. Your unconscious constantly monitors the state of your body and can initiate recovery processes that your conscious mind can't even imagine. Dreams about healing, renewal, or physical transformation often precede actual improvements in health. Jung understood that the unconscious is not just a repository of repressed memories, it is an active creative force that is constantly generating new possibilities for your life. When you dream of scenarios you've never lived, your unconscious is creating templates for future experiences. Hidden mind secrets reveal that unconscious power is amplified when you develop a conscious relationship with it. Instead of ignoring dreams or treating them as evening entertainment, you can establish regular dialogue with this inner intelligence. You can ask questions, ask for guidance, request clarity about confusing situations. The difference between people who live limited lives and people who reach extraordinary potential lies in the ability to access and collaborate with unconscious power. They don't rely solely on the conscious mind to solve problems or make important decisions. Your unconscious is like having a genius consultant working for you for free, but who only communicates through a specific language. Jung dedicated his life to decoding this language because he knew that those who master it have access to unlimited internal resources. Real power does not come from controlling the outside world through conscious force. It comes from aligning the conscious mind with unconscious wisdom to create synergy between these two intelligences. 9. Brutal integration. Jung discovered that knowing your dreams is worth nothing if you don't have the courage to apply what they reveal in real life. Integration is the most brutal moment of the process because it requires you to stop being who you have always been and become who you really can be. It is not gentle transformation, it is psychological surgery without anesthesia. When your dreams show you that you need to set boundaries, integration means confronting people who have always disrespected you. When they reveal that you are in a toxic relationship, it means having the courage to break up, even when it is financially inconvenient. When they show that you're wasting talent, it means abandoning security to pursue real potential. Most people fail at integration because they want change without consequences. They want to grow without losing anything, evolve without bothering anyone, transform themselves without leaving their comfort zone. But Jung's analysis revealed that true integration always requires painful sacrifices. You can't become new without killing off old versions of yourself. Dream interpretation without integration is intellectual masturbation. You can analyze symbols, understand patterns, decode messages, but if you don't act on what you discover, you're just entertaining yourself with your own psyche. Your unconscious eventually stops communicating with those who don't take your messages seriously. Brutal integration means accepting aspects of yourself that you've always rejected. If your dreams reveal that you have the capacity for leadership, you need to stop hiding behind others. If they show that you have aggressive instincts, you need to learn to channel them constructively instead of cowardly suppressing them. The subconscious mind doesn't just offer insights, it offers energy for change. When you decide to integrate what your dreams reveal, you access inner strength that you didn't know you had. People who seemed impossible to confront become manageable. Situations that seemed unsolvable find resolution. Jung understood that integration happens in layers. First, you integrate superficial aspects, then deeper aspects, finally aspects that touch the core of your identity. Each layer requires more courage than the last. Most give up at the intermediate levels when the change starts to bother others. Hidden mind secrets reveal that resistance to integration creates physical and emotional symptoms. Your body literally gets sick when you know truths about yourself, but refuse to act on them. Anxiety, depression, psychosomatic illnesses are often the result of non-integrated knowledge. The hardest integration is accepting that you have real power to change your life. It's easier to see yourself as a victim of circumstance than it is to take full responsibility for the outcomes you create. When your dreams show that you are more powerful than you realize, integration requires you to stop making excuses and start creating results. Dream psychology teaches that successful integration changes not only your behavior, but your energetic presence. People feel a difference in you even before you speak. You develop natural magnetism that comes from alignment between unconscious and conscious, between who you are and how you live. Brutal integration also means accepting dark aspects without becoming destructive. You recognize capacity for cruelty without being cruel. You accept sexual urges without being promiscuous. You embrace ambition without being dishonest. You become whole instead of good. Jung knew that people who complete the integration process become unique individuals who cannot be categorized or controlled by normal social standards. They live according to internal laws that they discovered through dialogue with the unconscious. The question is not whether you will integrate what your dreams reveal. The question is whether you will do it consciously or whether life will force integration through crises that you cannot avoid. 10. Definitive awakening. Jung discovered the final secret that changes everything. You are not just a person having dreams, you are consciousness dreaming that you are a person. Your nighttime dreams and your daytime life are two aspects of the same psychic reality. When you fully understand this, the distinction between asleep and awake dissolves, and you access a level of consciousness that most never experience. The ultimate awakening happens when you realize that you are dreaming even when you are awake. Your automatic reactions, your emotional patterns, your repetitive relationships are all part of a collective dream that you call real life. But Jung's analysis revealed that you can become lucid in this dream and start directing it consciously. People who reach this level of consciousness stop being victims of circumstance and become active creators of their reality. They understand that external events are reflections of internal states, that relationships are mirrors of non-integrated aspects, that problems are opportunities for growth in disguise. Dream interpretation at the deepest level reveals that you are constantly creating your experience through unconscious beliefs, repressed expectations, and energetic patterns that you don't even realize. When you become aware of these mechanisms of creation, you can modify them deliberately. The subconscious mind ceases to be a mysterious force and becomes a conscious collaborator. You develop the ability to communicate directly with your unconscious during the waking state. You don't have to wait for dreams to receive guidance. You can access inner wisdom at any time. Jung understood that this awakening is not a mystical experience reserved for a chosen few. It is a natural evolution of human consciousness. Anyone who seriously engages in dream work eventually reaches this point of total integration between conscious and unconscious. Hidden mind secrets of ultimate awakening include the ability to consciously influence dreams, solve problems through active visualization, heal trauma through conscious reimagining of memories, and access information that transcends limited personal experience. When you awaken definitively, your dreams become a conscious laboratory where you can experience different versions of yourself, explore future potentials, resolve internal conflicts, and develop capacities that then manifest in everyday life. The difference between people who live on autopilot and people who live consciously is that the latter understand that they are simultaneously dreamer and dream, creator and creation, observer and experience. They stop identifying themselves only with the conscious ego and recognize themselves as psychic totality. Jung knew that the definitive awakening is not the end of the process. It is the beginning of a completely new way of existing. You become a person who lives in multiple dimensions of consciousness simultaneously, navigating between the material world and the psychic world with equal ease. The final secret that Jung discovered is this: when you fully integrate conscious and unconscious, you become what you have always potentially been, but never dared to be today. You stop living as a fragment of yourself and start living as a whole. Your dreams stop being messages you receive and become conversations you actively participate in. You become a conscious co-creator of your dream experience and, by extension, your life experience. This is the awakening that Jung promised. Do not escape from human reality, but total conscious participation in the creation of that reality through collaboration between all dimensions of your psyche.